So welcome back 7th grade. We're going to be working on a positive and negative space project. So the materials you're going to need are a pencil, an item in your house like a pair of scissors, and some watercolors. If you don't have watercolors, you can always use crayons or colored pencils. So first we want to fold our paper in half. Then we want to take our object and trace it on one side of our paper. After you have a basic outline, then you want to come in and add those details to make your object come to life. So like for my scissors, I'm adding like the circle, the division of the blades. I'm even adding Dura Sharp, which is what's on the scissors, the words written. And even some of the indentations where it has those little angles. After you've finished drawing all your details, you want to go back in with a Sharpie and start to outline your object. A thin Sharpie is going to work the best. We do this because we're going to be using watercolors and Sharpies don't bleed. If you don't have a Sharpie at home, then I would suggest using a black pen. Once you've traced all your lines in Sharpie, then you want to take an eraser. I'm using a kneadable one, and you can erase all your pencil lines. So now let's place our item on the second half of our paper and start to trace that outline. For this one, we don't want to add any details. It's going to be our negative space. The thing that you really need is an outline of the shape of it. After you've outlined, you're going to do the same thing and trace it in Sharpie to get those nice clean edges. And the final step, erase your pencil line so you have a nice clean drawing. So now it's time to watercolor. We're going to start off with the first one that has the positive space, so all those extra details in it. I'm going to use the colors of the scissors itself, so that blue and gray. When you're starting to watercolor, you really want to build up the tone. I'm using a light blue, and then I'll go in with a medium tone and a dark blue. So I really want to see the transition. That's what's going to give your project depth, what's going to make it come to life. So this one, we're only coloring the pair of scissors, trying to make it as realistic as possible. So now we're ready to move on to our negative space. we are only going to color the outside of our scissors. So we're not coloring inside of our shape, we're coloring all around it. So I would like for you to use the complementary color of your scissors. So since my scissors are blue, the complementary color is orange. It's really going to make the contrast between the positive and negative space even more prominent. So we want to work with complementary colors. The first color I'm going to use for my negative space is going to be this light yellow-orange. It's going to be my transition color. Once I finish with the transition, I can go back in with a darker orange, like a scarlet, and outline very close to my item's figure so that it gives it more depth and dimension. Then you want to blend out those colors really well. I'm not filling the entire half sheet of paper. Instead, I'm just filling up a halo around my object just so that it looks like it's glowing. So you want to do that as well, maybe about a ½ inch away from your object. And there you have it. You'll have one side with a positive space where it's filled in, and the other side with your negative space where everything is colored except your item. So this is a really good way to understand how to work with balance for positive and negative space in your compositions. It really shows you how you can manipulate the way that things look by adding color behind them or adding more details within. I hope you enjoyed this project. Have a great rest of your day and happy creating 7th grade.